The wave of gameplay clips surfacing across the past few days for GTA 6, it gives us something far more interesting than just graphics or early developer footage. When you look past the crypto watermarks and things like that, there is a clear mechanical philosophy running underneath every single clip. GTA 6 is shifting towards a grounded, realistic, modern criminal sandbox. For over a decade, we've lived inside GTA 5's sandbox. While the game was an undeniable commercial and technical milestone back in 2013, it leaned heavily into more of an arcade-type identity. In GTA 5, committing a crime usually will trigger an immediate response from the police, and they'll even spawn at your location and very nearby. Like, for example, you could steal a car by pressing a single button to shatter the glass, and the police will instantly know where you're at, and within 90 seconds you're in this crazy chase out of nowhere. It works well as an over-the-top action playground, but it really does not leave much room to actually inhabit the world as a criminal who has to think about the logistics, planning, or physical consequences. What stands out across the latest leaked footage is how much of Red Dead Redemption 2's DNA is being pulled forward into a modern setting. Red Dead Redemption 2 remains, for me, the best living world ever created, and the reason that game felt so grounded was that its systems force you to treat the physical environment with real intention. You had to think about what weapons you're carrying, because you can't just carry 40 weapons at once. You had to think about the witnesses that perceived your behavior and your actions and could potentially stop them before they can contact the law. You had to think about the clothes you were wearing a mask, and how you physically manipulated objects and people in the world. Seeing that design philosophy applied to modern Vice City from the leaks is really the most promising takeaway in my opinion. It's indicating that Rockstar wants to give us a genuine mechanical depth in the day-to-day criminal behavior, moving the franchise away from the arcade loop of GTA 5 where you could really only do big-scale crimes in the main missions, and more towards a functional, player-driven simulation where in the open world you can commit crimes and do your own thing and you don't have to depend on missions for that type of content. So before breaking down the mechanics, I do want to give credit to the community mapping project as well. The map unfortunately did leak, and a lot of their layout and geographic markers line up extremely well with the actual map that we've seen. Whether it's the road or the coast or where the different cities lie, they did a really great job. And considering that project was built from the trailers, the really early leaks, public data, and screenshots, they did a really great job and was honestly pretty spot on. So anyways, let's get into the different gameplay mechanics we've seen. So I'm starting with the fourth leak, and this one really gave us a clear look at player inventory, and it also confirms a major design shift from GTA 5. Rockstar, just like Red Dead Redemption 2, appears to be placing hard limits on what you can actually carry with you. In the leaked UI that we saw, we can see a weapon wheel that's structured around 8 dedicated slots, paired alongside a separate item wheel which features 2 distinct healing item spots. That's a pretty big shift from GTA 5, where every protagonist effectively walked around with a million weapons, whether it's a pistol, an SMG, an AR, a sniper, an RPG, a shotgun. You could basically switch at all times, right? Limiting the player's arsenal, like they did in Red Dead, is one of the better mechanical decisions that Rockstar could make for a modern criminal sandbox, in my opinion. It will make it so much more immersive and realistic. An unlimited weapon wheel really does remove a lot of the tension and strategy and planning that's required in the open world encounters that you could have happen. Like when you carry the answer to every situation in your back pocket, you don't really have to prepare or stress about, how you're going to pull off a crime. Restricting what you can carry immediately elevates your vehicle as well, from just a disposable transportation that you don't have to care about into more of a vital mobile hub and a storage locker. Like in Red Dead, you had to rely on your horse saddlebags to have your weapons and switch weapons and store things. And Jason and Lucille will likely rely on vehicle trunks, as we've seen from kind of some of the leaks and also in even screenshots and trailers. They'll probably be relying on vehicle trunks and dedicated weapon lockers that are scattered across the map to store their heavy rifles, shotguns, and specialized gear. And so that really creates strategy before you even step out of your car. Like if you're planning to hit a small convenience store or walk into a crowded commercial area, you would want to be carrying a concealed handgun or maybe even a small knife. But if you know you're heading into a fortified stash house or an organized shootout, you pop the trunk, you grab your big rifles, and you commit to fighting. If the police swarm your location and force you to abandon your car on foot, for example, you're not just losing your ride now, you could be leaving your heavy arsenal behind until you can retrieve that car, break into a weapon locker, or secure another vehicle. It makes every getaway route and parking decision really matter now. Alongside the inventory restrictions, the leaks also revealed dedicated consumable slots. Like for example, we see specific medical items like EpiPens alongside something called Zombix pills, which features diminishing effectiveness if used repeatedly in combat. So rather than instantly refilling your health through an arcade pause menu with the snacks, Healing now requires smart item management and timing during active firefights. Again, like the common theme we're seeing, like Red Dead Redemption 2. It requires smart positioning and defensive play rather than just having an insane amount of snacks that you can eat instantly. So hopping into the next section, in a franchise titled Grand Theft Auto, you would think that stealing and managing hot vehicles should always have been a fleshed out criminal system rather than a throwaway thing like it kind of was in GTA 5. And the newest leaks show that Rockstar does appear to be building an entire lifecycle of risk around vehicle theft. In the leaked gameplay, we see a motorcycle theft that immediately displays a dedicated tracking indicator on the vehicle. But even more impressive than this was a sequence in the same leak where Jason successfully broke the line of sight of police and evaded the initial pursuit, and that completely drops his wanted level. But shortly after, the wanted status instantly came back moments later when an alert NPC spotted him driving the stolen police cruiser and reported it. That confirms that escaping law enforcement is no longer just staring at a minimap until the flashing icons disappear. In GTA 5, once you had a wanted level, you could cruise right past the officers you just finished shooting at without them batting an eye. But in GTA 6, the world appears to maintain informational persistence. Like if a witness or responding unit gets a clear look at your vehicle, that vehicle remains an active liability even after you clear your immediate heat. It seems from what we can tell that there might actually be scaling based on the type of vehicle you're stealing. For example, if you're stealing like an old station wagon off a suburban street, no one's going to care, the vehicle's probably got no GPS tracking, and you can slip through traffic with minimal heat. But for example, if you hijack a police cruiser or an armored transport or like a high-end sports car equipped with factory, GPS and all the great things, the vehicle itself is broadcasting a target on your back. You can't just cruise Ocean Drive in this vehicle expecting the world to forget what you're driving and not feel like you're being tracked. So you're forced to make active decisions. You could maybe like ditch your car in an alleyway, swap to an untracked civilian car, change your clothing to break the description, or run the vehicle to a chop shop or something like the Los Santos Customs to alter its plates and its color and its appearances. So it seems that they're turning the simple act of car theft into a layered, in-depth, skill-based game, which to me is great. I love things that add strategy and immersion. We also see multiple things that are kind of carrying forward this philosophy. Other parts of the leaks showed a smash window option as well as a clone key option. So while smashing glass would be quick and easy, it will leave broken glass at the scene of the crime, physical damage, and it would obviously flag your car to anyone passing by that you have a smashed window. While cloning a key, for example, will take digital tools and prep, but will leave the vehicle looking completely clean and is probably the more stealthy option to really get away with it without getting seen. So mastering these systems and player choice will really dictate how much of a wanted level and heat you might generate from stealing a car. One of the key innovations that Rockstar made with Red Dead Redemption 2 was the contextual interaction system. The greet, antagonize, defuse, rob, that sort of system. Being able to do that to literally anyone was amazing. And having that level of immersion in a game set in 1899, it would feel really wrong and honestly weird for it not to be brought forward in modern day Vice City. And the fourth leak looks to confirm that the contextual NPC system is coming back, and we saw dedicated greet and taunt options when we were looking at pedestrians. And the clips show that this goes further than basic voice lines. NPCs exhibit dynamic social reactivity based on the player's proximity, posture, and aggression. If you antagonize the wrong person or you linger too close in a hostile area, NPCs won't just run away screaming. They'll square up, trade insults, or actively initiate physical fights based on their personality and the environment. Beyond this, the melee combat that we saw in these clips does show a noticeable jump in physical weight. We see dedicated animations for multiple knife types, including switchblades, standard combat knives, and hunting knives, with fluid grappling and dynamic takedown animations that match the intensity of the scene. What makes these so compelling is that we see direct gameplay mechanics that match the cinematic bits that we've seen from the actual trailers. For example, the exact cashier robbery animation that we saw from trailer 2, that played out in real-time gameplay that we saw from the leak. It does confirm that when Rockstar said that trailer 2 was 50% gameplay and 50% cinematics, they weren't lying. These clips are caught from the player-controlled simulation. We also see incredible layers of polish that reinforce this. In the leaked footage, we saw Jason with visible cuts, bruises, and trauma that persist on his character model after taking damage in combat, alongside distinct audio details like wet shoes squeaking on tile flooring after walking through water. While details like that are pure visual polish rather than really anything complex, they do matter because this is the sort of stuff that really makes an immersive, reactive world where you really feel like your character exists in. So beyond combat and vehicle theft, The leaked footage also showed fully functional interior locations returning to the sandbox, including interactive fast food restaurants. Having spots that we can enter like fast food joints scattered throughout the city opens up so many layers of world interactivity. On one hand, it obviously expands the free roam criminal sandbox, giving players more commercial businesses that they can case or rob or whatever it is obviously just great optionality. And on the other hand, it also ties into the game's consumable and health recovery systems. Whether grabbing food will end up serving as a way to like boost your stamina or your healing, having accessible interiors really does make the urban environment feel so much more alive rather than a city built of hollow buildings like GTA 5. Every system that we've seen in these leaks, from the weapon restriction wheel to trunk storage to witness recognition to stolen vehicle tracking and interactive NPC dialogue, all point in the same direction. Rockstar is deliberately moving away from the arcadiness of GTA 5 and making this GTA more like Red Dead Redemption 2 and a living world where your actions, your preparation, and your surroundings carry real mechanical weight. Also, as a final aside, there was also a leak this morning of the leaker flying a plane across Vice City. Now, gameplay-wise, we don't see anything too crazy in this leak. He's literally just flying a plane. But in my opinion, I just do want to say the map looks literally amazing. Like, it looks, like visually, it looks really, really good. We do get to see the radio, which is cool. So some good options there and stuff. But overall, man, like the map and the gameplay and the visuals when this guy's flying the plane, like literally looks so good. And then also at the end of the leak, the dude went to a wall and spelled out his name by shooting the wall as Jason. So somehow, some way that it appears this guy has a build of the game. I'm not sure how it's possible or how that happens, but pretty crazy and might be one of the biggest leaks of all time considering the magnitude of this title. But overall, visually, it looks amazing. Vice City flying overhead, like it really looks so good, and it just makes me so much more excited for the Netflix reveal next week. Overall, limiting the player's arsenal, making cars act as your mobile storage hubs, and forcing us to respect witnesses and police tracking, in my opinion, is not adding tedious friction. It creates real, genuine gameplay depth and strategy, and it makes Grand Theft Auto 6 feel like a true modern criminal simulation rather than a static arcade sandbox like GTA 5. We'll keep breaking down these systems as Rockstar releases more official information, especially following the Netflix reveal next week. So let me know in the comments, do you like the return to a limited weapon wheel as opposed to what was in GTA 5? And what do you think about trunk storage like in Red Dead Redemption 2 with your horse? Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.